Hi, I'm Brian with WV Gamers, and we're here with Floodgate Games to look at some new titles coming out.
Hi, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Excellent. I'm excited to show you all the new things that we have going on. Here at the show, we're showing Sagrada Life. It's the second of the 3 Great Facades expansions to our game Sagrada, which is a dice drafting game about building stained glass windows. And it's also the first time at a con for Holi, Festival of Colors. This is a 3-dimensional area control game named after the festival in India, where you're throwing colored powder on each other. It's puzzly, it's got a cool 3D board, and lots of replayability. It's a really good puzzly game.
It's got a lot of good table presence too.
Thank you. Yeah. We love the dimensionality of the board. And all
Absolutely.
that. And then we're showing off Vivid Memories here. This is our new game of this year. This is a game where we're collecting fragments of childhood memories, storing them in our brain, making connections, getting moment tiles, and creating scoring conditions, and setting up for big combos, and being rewarded throughout your life for how you remember your memories.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's when we actually, Amanda and I both play tested, so we're really excited to see this now in physical form. So we saw it last summer, probably September timeframe or so? August. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to play, and so we're glad to see it made it. It's now in its physical form.
Yeah, it's an actual thing on a table now.
Exactly.
Not just online, so that's a nice change too.
Absolutely. And so yeah, I guess tell us about Holi.
We can talk a little bit more about Holi. Okay. So like I said, this is a 3-dimensional area control game. Players are playing pattern cards to spread their colored powder around on the board, on this 3-dimensional board here, and you'll place your tokens in the corresponding spaces when you play your pattern card, but it's puzzly in that you have to make sure you're not covering any of your opponent's color tokens. There's also the 3 layers. As you move up, there's more room, and your color tokens are worth more and more points, but there's a race to collect the most sweets tokens, and once you go up, you can never go back down to get those again. And like I was saying, for replayability, we have these rivalry cards. Those change up the rules a little bit every time you play, so kind of change your strategy and so on.
Absolutely.
Just here on Friday here at Gen Con, we announced our upcoming game, Decorum. It's a game of passive-aggressive cohabitation where we are decorating a house together. It is a cooperative game where we each have conditions of how we want the house to be decorated. I want a red wall hanging in the bedroom, and so on. We're going to make changes to the house, and your partner, every time you make a change, your partner can react, but only by saying, I love it, I hate it, or I'm neutral to it, hence the passive-aggressive part. So you go back and forth making changes to the house until everyone's satisfied, reveal your conditions, check, and then you win together or lose together. But you are working together the whole time, even if it doesn't feel like it.
Okay.
It is played in a series of scenarios for the 2-player game. The game gets harder as you get better, so the puzzles get a little crunchier as you go. And it does play 3 and 4 players, where we have a different set of scenarios you can play in any order, each with a varying difficulty.
Cool. Let's take a peek at this down here.
Yeah, so this is the house board. Everybody's going to be, every time you play a scenario, we'll have this setup card that determines how the house is set up to begin with, which objects are in which rooms, what paint color the walls are, and so on. And then each player gets their own conditions card here that determines how they want the house to be decorated. But there's a lot of conflicting situations that it can occur, where you may care about things being in one place or another, and your opponent wants them to be somewhere else, or your partner rather wants them to be somewhere else. And so
that looks like it's going to be an interesting game.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Any plans for when? So is this already funded, or is it going to go to funding, or is it just going to?
This one we're releasing Decorum directly.
Okay.
It'll be available probably January or February of next year.
Nice.
Cool. And then I guess finally, one that's you're most notable for is Sagrada. So what new things are being added by the latest expansion?
Great question. So the Life expansion to Sagrada is modular. It adds 3 new modules. New dice, of course. We call them the Masterwork dice. When you place one on your window, it adds some new restrictions. They're orange, so they're a new color, and they have arrows on them that point to other dice. The dice that they point to have to either be the same color, the same number, or sometimes all different colors and such. depending on what face of the die you have on there. But if you have those conditions met by the end of the game, you gain points, and if you don't, you lose points. So you're kind of taking on some risk by taking those. We also have a bunch of new window pattern cards that have a little symbol on them. When you place a die there, you get an apprentice card. Those are one-shot abilities that let you sort of do rule breaky sort of things, more objectives and so on as well. So lots of new stuff, mix and match. It's compatible with the other expansions, including the 5 and 6 player expansion. So if you have that, you can play with the Passion or Life expansions or both, all the way up to 6 players too.
Exciting. And for anyone who doesn't know much about Sagrada, it's great for anyone to get into. You don't have to be an experienced. It's basically a dice drafting game, and it's a lot of fun. It has a lot of nice table presence because it's nice and pretty because the stained glass and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely a good game for anyone who likes dice games to get into, or any light games that can be played very quickly. So, all right, anything else you'd like to tell us about?
That's very kind. No, that's all. Everything we're showing here at the show. We're excited to be back at Gen Con, and hope you'll check out our games at floodgategames.com.
It sounds like someone else is excited too, just as you said it. All right, thank you for taking the time to show us these games, and good luck with the rest of the show.
Hey, thanks. Have fun.
All right.